In the past 5 years of being an online entrepreneur, I failed 10 plus Shopify dropshipping stores. I failed starting a YouTube gaming channel. I failed 5 different agencies. I failed starting multiple clothing brands. And over the past 14 months, I've grew my content business and digital product business to over $500,000 per year. On the outside, it might look like I'm crushing it, because, let's be frank, I'm posting all of these things on Instagram. I'm not posting pictures of me losing money or of me spending hours creating a piece of content that flops. This is not the things I'm posting and not the things other people post because they're really uninteresting. It's fun to post, your wins, and 90% of the time, almost 100% of the time, I'm doing that. I'm not posting my losses. And those losses, they're happening every day. And another thing is that, again, I just don't know what I'm doing majority of the time. Yesterday, I've done a podcast with William Brown, right? So I'm staying here in Dubai. It's the second podcast I've done, right? The first one was with Nicholas Pede. Second one was with William Brown. Amazing guys. The thing is, I prepared for those podcasts, right? I've done my best to prepare for them. But still, I was so scared. And I'm going to that podcast and I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, let's be frank. Why are you even doing this? What are you doing? And all of these voices telling you should have stayed at home. You shouldn't done this. Why you need this? But then when you do something like that really scares you, you always feel good about yourself, right? And you always grow. And this is the big realization I got in the past year and learned from other successful people, that being uncertain and having no idea what you're doing is a part of the game, Back when I was failing all on these things, I was so hyper focused on having a plan, planning out everything for months on end. And then what you come to realize that your plan rarely works out the way you want to. And then when that happened to me, I quit. Well, if I just stuck with one of these things that I failed at for at least more than a month, I probably would have succeeded with it. Anything can work if you just give enough time to it, right? Of course, there are some things that it might be just harder to make it work than others, but you can still make it work if you give enough time. Realize that 90% of the time, you're not gonna know what you're doing. And even people at the top, they don't know what they're doing. Grant Cardone even said this multiple times, that he doesn't know what he's doing, right? He just does stuff. So after doing these 2 podcasts with Nicholas and William, one thing, the most common pattern I've noticed is that these guys do things regardless and find a way to make them work. So both of them started with something very, very small, right? And over time, they let the market feedback point them to the right direction. People built their products. Their customers helped them to build their products for them. The same goes for every single online marketer. And the thing is, with online business, it's not a school. It's not a 9-to-5 job. People not going to tell you what you need to do. You're going to constantly be figuring out how to level up. That is where the coaching and mentorship comes along and helps you, right? This is the one way you can speed up your process. Every day, I'm dealing with all kinds of different stuff that you don't see. And most of the time, I don't know how it's going to pan out. I have no idea how it's going to pan out, right? I have a plan. I follow the plan, but it works out most of the time, usually totally differently than I expected. The program that I have and my main product that I have, which made me almost $500,000, started as a preset, as a LUT for $9.95. When I created that preset, that product, and I started selling it on social media, I had no idea where it's going to take me. And then I see some people in my DMs on Instagram trying to figure out every single step of the way and plan out everything ahead of time when they haven't even done a first step of even launching their brand on social media or creating content. They haven't done that yet, but they already are panicking and scared on how to project the next 2 to 5 years of their lives, how to structure their product, what they're gonna sell. Like all of these things are just paralyzing them from taking action. And I totally get it. I was in that place myself. I remember a year ago when I launched that preset and LUT, I kept like constantly thinking this is not a way for me to reach what I want. And that was true. But I had no idea how to reach what I want, how to pivot that. But you know what? Over the time, as I started getting more feedback and I constantly kept iterating that product, adding new stuff to it, I was able to increase the price. As the price increased, I started making more money. As I started making more money, I was able to invest more time into building the better product. And because of that, I started getting more customers for it. And over the time, it grew to what now is an Instagram creator course, right? Also, another really important thing you have to know about online business is that it's going to be like a lot of people say it and it's cliche, but it's going to be really lonely because if somebody doesn't do it, not like people from your family, your friends, if they do not do it and you hang out with them, they're not going to understand you at all. Like at all. Like they don't know what you're going through. If they have 9 to 5 jobs to go to unis and stuff, like they have such a completely different mindset because they do deal with different stuff on every single day. You are responsible for every single thing that's happening to you. If your business is failing, it's because of you. If your business is succeeding, it's because of you. And, you know, every single thing that happens to you, either you make money or not, it's all on you. Over time, you're going to learn this and you're going to get used to it. And you're going to be really happy that you chose this path because actually it's less risky if you think about it, right? People that completely give out control to their bosses, to like their teachers and to other people, they give out their control. They have peace of mind for short term, right? Because they don't need to take responsibility. For example, if they are, working in 9 to 5 job, like if company fails, they don't care. They can just find another job. But in the long run, they're taking a risk of handling their lives control to other people, right? Like you can get laid down off your work anytime. You have no control of your life. You have no control of your time, nothing. So it comes with a lot of hurdle, but the rewards for it are just the risk to reward ratio, in my opinion, especially now, right? With businesses being so easy to start, all you need is an iPhone and like a laptop maybe even, and you're good to go. I think risk to reward ratio of starting a business is so small that I don't get it sometimes when people say that it's risky to start a business nowadays. I just don't get it how it's risky. You can do this part-time, you can start and slowly build it up. So I just don't get it how it's risky. So that's just my point of view on this. You sometimes get a chargeback, let's say, on your payment processor, and you're pissed all day. And then you say this to your friends and family, and they're like, "Oh wow, really? How this can happen? Like, can't you just DM the bank and ask and tell that the customer received your product?" Oh no. This is not how it works, right? You have to have, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're doing this, try to get into the circles of people that are doing it and understand your problems. This is the best thing, to have some small support group around you. Because if you don't have that, like, you're gonna feel so lonely. And I was doing it for years alone myself, and all of the other people around me like had no clue, had no understanding of this, and like I had no support circle. And as soon as I got some support circle, it was easier. Another thing people need to understand is that highs and lows are so big in this game, is that sometimes you can feel like big highs when you're winning and then lows. So like what I'm trying to say with this is, do not celebrate your wins a lot. Like what I'm saying, yeah, be satisfied, be happy with your wins, but whenever you're winning, realize that you have to keep staying on top of your game. You can't never relax and let go. Like, I guess you need to find a balance between being stoic, being calm, which means even if you're winning or even if you're losing, you maintain the balanced emotion levels all the time. And this is something also you have to learn over time. Because when you're losing, you have to realize the good things are coming back, and when your good things, like when the things are good, the bad things are coming. So if you enjoy this, and if you agree or disagree with my ideas, leave your ideas in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.